Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. What a very interesting night we had last night with the mass turkey UFO event. We'll talk about that here in a second. But more importantly today, I want to show you some very interesting discoveries on the planet Mars. A couple things that may just pique your interest and go back to this long-held belief that Mars was definitely a planet that was inhabited. It was much like Earth, it had life on it, before something went wrong and the planet was eventually destroyed. So the first discovery here, which is actually a piece of very damning evidence of ancient structures and ruins, similar to what we have here on Earth, and that was discovered in this Mars image you're seeing here. It's from the High Resolution Imaging Science Experiment, and I'll put the link to this down below. They have a bunch of different sizes and resolutions. And it was captured in Elysium Planitia back on January 21st, 2012. And you'll quickly discover when looking at this image is that we'll start to see these very strange, almost what look like ancient burial mounds, the kind that you'll find here on Earth. You find them in certain places in South Africa, India, all over the place. So there's a few specific ones that we want to bring your attention to. This area here where you can automatically see these hexagonal and pentagon-shaped edges that maybe from afar would look like your normal crater, partially buried crater. But when you look closer at these, you start to see that this is much more than just a partially buried crater. The walls on these things are perfect, sharp, straight lines. They're hexagons, and you do not get naturally occurring hexagon-shaped craters. You get circular craters. That's how it's always been, and that's the way it is, whether you're looking at Mars, the Moon, or virtually any other body in the solar system, including Earth. And another thing to note is look at these mounds that are in the center of some of these things. We even have square mounds here, square walls. These things are rising up from the surface. These are not indentations. These are elevated rock wall type structures. Who knows, maybe Donald Trump built them. We're checking on that. I'm speaking with sources, so I'll have to get back to you on that. But it looks to me like we have these, what look like the ancient burial mounds that you'll find on Earth, surrounded by these hexagonal raised walls. And it's simply stunning. It's massive, as you guys like to say. You know what? I'm gonna start putting t-shirts in the t-shirt shop that just say massive, and I'm sure they'll get bought up. But what we are seeing here is definitely not natural. It looks like what we're seeing is some sort of ancient ruins. We've seen them before. If you remember, we posted a video a while back of this ancient tomb-shaped structure that we also found on Mars that looks identical to another tomb found in Japan. You're seeing that Mars image here where we have this keyhole-shaped mound, elevated, raised up off the ground. And then I want you to look at this side-by-side comparison of what is called a Kufun-era tomb. Now, the Kufun period is an era in the history of Japan from around 250 to 538 AD. The word Kufun itself is Japanese for the type of burial mounds dating from this era. So we have this mound in Japan, and it's frigging identical to the one we're seeing here, found on Mars. I cannot believe NASA let this thing slip by without airbrushing it out like they do most of their photographs. But you know what? I think it's just a lack of manpower, and I believe that NASA simply doesn't care that we find some of these anomalies, because they know that they can stay silent, and that's where it'll end. It's not like we're going to be able to have some sort of revolution just because we find these anomalies, but the point of this channel and channels like it is to build up so much evidence that they really don't have a choice. And we have these mounds here, identical. We've seen other structures on Mars, pyramids. We've seen the famous face on Mars. We've seen these rectangular-shaped, tall-standing monoliths, these big square and rectangular blocks sitting in the middle of the Martian desert. We recently posted a video featuring all of these anomalous discoveries, structures, saucers, towers, you name it. And I will put the link to that video down in the video description. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. You will be amazed when you see the amount of artificial structures that are on this supposedly dead planet. And so we'll go back to this picture of these very strange square and hexagonal shaped craters with these large elevated mounds in the center. We have some other structures that are square, and in the center of some of the mounds, we have some other strange indentations. Could these be entrances to something underground Mars? There's a good possibility there is, and we've talked about this as well, that the evidence points to there being an underground system on Mars, where possibly there is still life to this day. After whatever catastrophe happened on the surface, many people believe there was a nuclear war of sorts on the planet Mars, or an attack, if you will, by another malevolent alien race. And so the Martians were driven underground. And what we're seeing on the surface are the ruins, what was left over after the destruction. So very interesting images. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put the link to these down in the video description, as well as the link to the video where we go through all of the anomalous findings that we have discovered on Mars over the years, so check that out. Now, another very intriguing discovery also found on Mars, this time in a rover image of what can only be described as a set of wheels laying amongst the rubble. Here you're looking at the full image. Again, link down in the video description. We've got our typical Martian surface scattered with rocks, boulders, and just overall destruction. And if we zoom into this area right here that I'm circling, we'll go ahead and pop this into Photoshop. You will discover what looks like a set of wheels. Just like the type of wheels you would find on trains, same type of wheels that you find on your car, and they're connected. Again, just like you would see with the train axles. So we're zoomed in here. Here are the objects, and these look like a set of wheels. Here is an image of one of these sets of wheels that you can find on Earth, and you just, look at the similarities. And as you're looking at this, it's obviously a set of wheels, or a set of something that looks like wheels. We have these perfect circular wheel shapes connected by what looks like an axle, and there's two of them. They're the same size, the same shape. This doesn't look to be a trick of light. The light and the shadowing is typical of what you would see here on Earth. And what's so amazing about this is that it gives you an idea that whoever was on Mars years ago, it would seem, had very similar automobile or travel technology that we did. They had wheels. Wheels on something, at least. And if these are not wheels, some aliens were just working out on the surface and were lifting weights and left their weights just sitting here on the surface. Oh boy, Tyler's hitting you with the jokes today, isn't he? No, but seriously, this is an amazing finding. Another piece of scattered ruins left on the surface of Mars. We have found hundreds of these things now, and it's basically at this point undeniable. There are ruins on Mars, ancient relics of a time long since past where Mars was very similar to Earth, and I can only say we will continue finding these things and posting on them. So, two very mysterious and interesting discoveries on Mars. Let me know what you guys think, and be sure to share this video. Now, yesterday we posted 2 videos about this mass UFO sighting that happened over Turkey. Now, as of right now, I am still looking into this. I had a long night last night. I was up for 5 or 6 hours straight with my eyes and face glued to my laptop screen, trying to figure out what was going on. And we really still don't know. We know that there was a mass sighting, 20 plus pictures of these lights being seen in multiple cities, multiple places all over the world, in fact. We're getting no answers. At one point, I heard that one of the state-run news outlets in Turkey, and again, this is just hearsay. I'm not sure that this has actually been said or been confirmed, but some have said that this was a social media experiment and that it was a hoax. And I kind of lashed out on that in the update video I posted. Because if this is a hoax, it's probably the most well-orchestrated hoax I've ever witnessed. And the people who have seen these lights would disagree with this social experiment nonsense. People who have sent me pictures, people who have messaged me after their messages and tweets on Twitter were censored and deleted. People's Facebook posts going missing. Widespread suppression and censorship as this story broke. And we still do not have clear answers, and is such life in ufology. Unfortunately, this is one of those topics where you often don't get clear-cut answers to things that happen. You'll have these mass sightings, and the best you can do is, research and dig up small pieces to the puzzle and slowly put it together. And even then, you still won't get the whole story in a lot of these cases. And this has happened over and over and over. It happened with the Phoenix lights back in 1997. Very little answers to this day, 20 years later. So I will follow up on this. I've got a lot of emails to check, a lot of messages. I am completely swamped. So to those of you out there who have emailed me, I know some of you have been voicing your concern in the comments, saying that I'm ignoring you or that I haven't gotten back to you yet. Trust me, I'm trying my best. I'm getting upwards of 100 emails per hour, and that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I can only check emails, respond, review footage so fast. So if you email me your footage, trust me, I will get back to you. Just be patient. So I will post an update video soon on anything new I find about this mass turkey UFO event. If you have any new info, send it over or tweet it to me. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I'm always on there. I'm constantly posting updates, and I get a lot of info from people on Twitter. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about everything we've talked about today, and I'll lead this video out with an image I took of my brand new Galaxy-style YouTube pillow that I ordered a couple days ago. It just arrived today. I'm adding it to the Secureteam altar with my subscriber ticker box, my LED hologram alien head, and I just saw it online and I thought it was cool. It's got the, the blue and purple galaxy background here. So I purchased it off a website called Redbubble, I believe it is, and they've got a whole line of really cool YouTube pillows, subscribe pillows, anything you can imagine. So thought it was cool. But be sure to stick right here with the channel. We've got a lot of stuff coming, and if it's the truth that you want to learn about the UFO and alien phenomenon, be sure to stick right here with Secureteam. All right, so thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys back in just a bit.